This is Ladies High.
With Tia.
Prepare to be entertained as I introduce your host, Tia.
Welcome to the Ladies Hive podcast, the show where we delve into the female minds as we discuss all issues that affect our daily lives with reference to personal experiences and, of course, dishing out words of advice with zero judgments. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please to ensure that you listen to the podcast till the end, and of course, connect with us on social media today on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at the Ladies Hive, and enjoy the show.
Hey, Hivers, what's going on? How are you doing and how is your day going? I trust that your October is going on well and everything's going on smooth with you. It's always a pleasure to be here again with you to just have wholesome conversations and just help each other become better versions of ourselves. As I said in last week's episode, this week we'll be kicking off a two-part humanitarian series, and we are going to be having two people from two West African countries to come tell us the good work that they are doing, helping the girl child become a better version of herself, helping children grow and become secure in themselves. They're doing amazing work. So today we are going to kick off the humanitarian series with our first guest up today. Before I do that, the countdown to my birthday is still on. Yeah, and it's what, four days to go now. Who's excited? I know I am. I am. 4 days till my birthday. Whoa. I started receiving gifts already, like I said last week. So y'all do the needful. And if you need to take a peek into what my wish list looks like, to pick something from there to gift me, let me know and I'll share it with you. Okay. All right. Before we bring up our guest, let's just get to meet him on paper first. So our first guest for today is Alhagie Manneh. He is 33 years old, Gambian by nationality, and the founder and chairperson of UAID Foundation Gambia. Now, this foundation is a civil society organization working to address menstrual health and sexual reproductive health challenges in Gambia. Now, Alhagie Manneh is a nurse by profession, is a passionate youth leader. He's passionate about menstrual health and a SRH advocate, SDG enthusiast, and social impact advocate. Now, he has done a lot of research, over the years, and worked with or teamed up with organizations such as UNICEF in the Gambia, Action Aid, the Gambia Bureau of Statistics, International Food and Agricultural Development, IFAD, in just teaming up with these bodies and organizations to conduct series of studies on contemporary issues affecting the less privileged and vulnerable people in location communities in Gambia. Woo, that's quite, it's a long list. I'm still going to get to meet him, so we will still delve into other parts. Now let's just talk a little bit about the foundation in itself. Now, the foundation, the UAID Foundation, the full is the Union Aid Foundation Gambia. Is a registered national-based civil society organization that was founded in September 2020 with the purpose of empowering young women and adolescent girls in both schools and local communities in the Gambia through menstrual health and SRH projects to ensure that they have the required social support and access to information to ensure they stay healthy and reduce the rate of school absenteeism to enable them reach their full potentials. Woo, yes, that's what the U8 Foundation is about. And yeah, that's a little bit about our guest for today, Alhagie Manneh, a 33-year-old who is doing amazing work in helping young girls and adolescents and teenagers, basically. All right. Before we do that, I just wanted to quickly chip in that this particular episode and the one for next week as well, this humanitarian series, basically is brought to you by Exa Media in conjunction and partnership with the Ladies Hive with Tian podcast. We are grateful to be doing this to shed more light on the good work that these people are doing through this partnership with Hexa Media. Hexa Media is a full-service digital media agency that helps African nonprofits and impact-driven businesses leverage tech, media, and communications for growth and impact. Follow at hexamedia.africa for more. All right, so it's time to bring up our guest now. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready to give him that warm Hivers welcome? All right, join me as I bring up our guest for today, Alhagie Manneh. All right. So we are joined with our guest of today, our spotlight guest of today, Alhagie Manneh. Did I get the second one correct?
Yes, you did.
Okay. So Alhagie Manneh is here with us and he's doing amazing work in helping young girls and all of that good stuff. So we are going to get to know him. He's going to talk about his work and all the things in between. By the way, congratulations on winning the ChangeMaker Award of the Year, the EXA Award.
Yes, thank you very much.
You're welcome. So yes, let's just dive right in. First off, how do you feel about the awards, winning it? And
yeah, it was really amazing. Something that I wasn't expecting, but I think it was at the end of the day, from the work that we are doing. It was actually a tap at the back that to let us know that we are on the right track and that we should do more to impact more lives, basically.
Okay, so before we dive into your foundation, right? I understand that you are a nurse, right?
Yes.
Okay, tell us a little bit about that. Your background leading up to you deciding to become a nurse and how that has been so far.
All right. So I think my being a nurse was actually inspired by the research and the data entry that I was involved in. I did a lot of that in the Gambia across all the 8 regions where we go collect data being contracted by the organizations like the UNICEF and things like that. So from this research, I have obviously first-hand information of a lot of contemporary issues in the Gambia, especially those that are connected to local community level in terms of health and well-being of women and girls. I think by far this is what inspired me to become a nurse to ensure I also part in ensuring we maintain a very, very good food for our people, especially in local communities. And this is what inspired me to be a nurse.
All right, awesome. Just a quick one. Please try to speak up more so that we can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
Yes.
All right.
Awesome. And how long have you been a nurse for? And how has the journey so far been?
Yeah, I've been a nurse for like 7 years. Yeah, it was okay. Though we have our challenges, like any other African countries, health is always very expensive. So we also our challenges as well. But it has been a tremendous thing for me, and it was a passion for me. So whatever the challenge is in, I always ensure I did my quota because it was something that I actually love doing.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
So I traveled across all the 8 regions in the Gambia where we collect data and things like that. So I think by far this has exposed me to a lot of challenges that the local communities are actually going through, especially with regards to health and well-being, most especially the vulnerable and the less privileged. So this actually shaped my decision to become a nurse, to also play a part in the health system of the Gambia.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. I like the fact that what you were seeing around you really spurred you to do something about it. So let's talk about your foundation now, the U8 Foundation. What motivated you to start this? What was the motivation behind this?
Okay, so I have talked about research, and one of the surveys that we did in the provincial Gambia, I was actually exposed to a situation where I saw some girls that were actually not going to school, and the survey was not actually about them not going to school. It was a survey that was actually checking on the rights of women and girls. But then I asked them a question that was within outside the survey questions that why are you not going to school, and they responded that if they do go to school, boys will laugh at them because they are seeing their menstruations. So I asked them for how long would it take for you not to go to school. They'll be like, for the entire period it takes like 5 to 7 days. So within this period we don't go to school because we have been stigmatized and discriminated, and so this prompt us not to go to school. So I see that I couldn't understand that a natural phenomenon in you preventing you to reach your potential. I don't understand that. So I then I decided that I would do something about it, but I knew I was not going to do it alone. I would not be able to do it alone because these are things that government don't really respond very well to. So we also need to come on as young people to form an alliance to ensure we solve some of these problems. So this is the initial stage where we came up with the foundation to ensure we address menstrual health and hygiene challenges for young girls in the Gambia.
Awesome. Awesome. So I really like this about your foundation helping young girls, and it's such a beautiful thing to know that even men, right? Men are rising up to the occasion and helping young girls, because most times when we see foundations like these that are focused on the personal hygiene for girls, is usually spearheaded by women, but it's such a beautiful thing to see that even men are involved now. So let me ask this: How do you? So what is the usual process like? Do you provide sanitary pads for these girls? If you do, how do you source for it? How do you fund that?
Yes, in most occasions we provide sanitary pads, and we actually source this by self-funding. So I must also make it clear that all the projects that we actually implement since our inception in 2020 was actually self-funded. Nobody ever funded us anywhere. So what we do is membership contributions. Yeah, we charge each other a certain amount every month to be able to implement these projects. And I believe for the sustainability of the projects, local fundraising is also very, very important. So this is, for the most part, that's sustaining our projects that we're doing. Yeah.
Okay, so I want to ask this as well. So how what's the process like? Do you go to schools to give these girls sanitary towels? Do you go to like local neighborhoods to do that? And also, um, I would like to think that one of the things that your foundation should also be focusing on is addressing, the stigma attached to menstrual cycle, right? Educating young girls and young boys alike to tell them, to ensure that they know that it's not a bad thing, or it's not a death sentence. It's just a cycle that girls go through, right? So yeah, tell me a bit about that.
Yes, so we are doing that in many ways. Our foundation basically have a strategy we call triangular approach, where we have the adolescent girls at the top, we have the parents at the right, and then we have the teachers at the left. So we believe we cannot address this problem properly if we don't engage the parents and the teachers as well. So we actually do community sensitization programs where we involve parents in discussions as well, because most of the parents are really not talking to their girls about this prior to them starting their menstruation, which is actually causing a lot of problems. And with regards to the teachers as well, most of the time these kids are at school, so teachers need to be aware that they need to be supported when they are seeing their menstruation, because it comes up with a lot of stresses sometimes, and uncomfortable situations, and teachers should be there for them to be able to be attending school regularly. So this is how we are approaching it. So after doing a thorough analysis about the situation, we realized that most of the young girls that are our targets are found in the schools. So we actually go to schools to be able to do this, where we not only give them parts, but we also sensitize them on the hygiene practices. Because it's one thing to have your sanitary parts, but if you don't know how to use them properly, it means you are exposing yourself to a lot more infections and things like that. So we ensure
Yeah.
they really understand about the usage and then how they can prevent infections while they're seeing their menstruation. And also we distribute these parts in the schools with regards to education that you asked. Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. So you mentioned that it is self-funded, right? Um,
Mhm.
yeah. So I wanted to ask, how many volunteers do you have currently in the U8 Foundation?
Okay, currently we have about 75 plus volunteers.
Wow.
Uh, yes, because recently we recruited another volunteers. We opened a form where about 100 plus people applied to be volunteers, most of which are university going students to have more experience and also to impact the project that we are doing. But because of the funds and everything, we are only able to settle down with 40 of them. So to be added to the 30 that we have, and then making it 70 plus something. So we have about 70 plus volunteers at the moment.
Nice. Wow, that's
Mhm.
huge. That's the whole that's a whole community. So how are you able to manage everyone that is volunteering? Do you have like people that help you manage these groups of volunteers that you have?
Yeah, so the strategy that we actually develop is all of these volunteers are from regions. So we have our regional pages where every region that you are from, you will be added to that particular page. So the management will be easy on us. So also, if we have an activity in your region, it will not be necessary for everybody to go to that particular activity. Those that are concerned with that region are the ones that are going to participate on behalf of the foundation for that particular region. So this is how we are able to manage the volunteers.
Awesome, awesome. So I mean, when I read your profile, I I saw that you belong to a lot of forums, right? You
Mm.
have international affiliations and all of that. How did that happen? Did that happen, as a result of you building this foundation, the U8 Foundation? How did that happen, basically?
Okay, I would just say yes. Partly is because of U8 Foundation, but also I am somebody that really want to develop professionally. So I was lucky to be part of the yearly training in Ghana in 2021. This has exposed. I think this is the door opener for me. It has exposed me to a lot of other young people and the work that they are doing in Africa and things like that. So one thing led to another. I was also selected to participate in a leadership program in Egypt. That was last year, at the courtesy of the President Abdul Fattah el-Sisi and the Ministry of Youth and Sport of Egypt. So this also connected me to a lot of people. My network keep on expanding, and then yeah, I also have been approached by other organizations to be ambassadors for them in the Gambia. So I think these are some of the ways that actually expand my network. But U8 was a great part of that because it really was the reason why I was being considered for the yearly program, which at the end of the day opened doors for me to have connection with a lot of other organizations.
Awesome. Wow, this is beautiful, and I know that, or I feel like, some of these international affiliations will help your foundation in one way or another, right?
Yes, absolutely. We look forward to that. Not financially, but I think technically and otherwise, they are
Yeah,
contributing a lot to
yeah,
foundation as well.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So I really need to ask this. How are you able to manage all of this? You're a nurse. You belong to all of these forums and international affiliations. You run and are still building the U8 Foundation. And I believe you are married, right?
Yes, I am.
And you have a child.
Yeah, yeah, I do.
Awesome. So, how are you able to manage all of this? Because I find that some of the things that, as young people, we struggle with is balancing the work-life balance, as they say, right? Balancing work, balancing life, balancing your passion, balancing family, just balancing everything together. So, how are you able to balance and juggle all of these?
Okay, so I think time management is really crucial to whatever we do. So I actually have time for everything that I do. So that is to say I am a nurse practicing a nurse. It means I have to be at work every day, but there is a time frame for this work, right? So I utilize the opportunity that I have after the work. Can I be able to do with U8 Foundation? Because if you look at the foundation as well, it's not like every day we have to do sensitization or every day we have to do projects. There are timelines for this project, but I ensure at least when they say this month this is the activity that we have with the foundation, I would ensure I participate in that. So I have a lot of time to plan for that, and while also working as a nurse to also help other people in terms of health and other issues. So this is how I basically manage the time and to be ensure I'm part of the activities of UH Foundation. Then
Awesome. Awesome. So I need to ask this. With all this, the good work that you've been doing so far since 2020, what has been like the most challenging aspect of building up the U8 Foundation?
yes, so to be quite honest, it hasn't been an easy one, but I think we really are passionate for this. So along the line, I had some challenges, especially from the side of the government. I don't think there has been a lot of support from the government. Yeah, and also when we write to other organizations to fund the project to support, they would applaud you for actually what you're doing, but nobody would support your cause. So, which
Yeah.
means we have to rely on our pockets and the little money that we have. This is what we have to contribute together to ensure we make things happen. But to be quite honest, we don't have much support either from the government or from private organizations. It's really a challenge. That part is really troublesome for us.
Yeah, so I can imagine that funding this, it takes a lot, and it's interesting. I was just going to ask, how the Gambian government is helping, but obviously they're not helping in parts of funding. And yeah, I think it's just a red tape thing across the continent. Yeah, but do you guys maybe write to companies that produce, sanitary towels, sanitary pads, and see how they can help and come in, maybe by sponsoring with an amount of pads, or just partnering with you?
Okay, so we are promoting reusable parts. In the Gambia, there are companies that are working on disposable parts,
Oh,
but this
okay.
is not something, yeah, that we want. We think it's not sustainable, and also the chemicals and every other thing is not advisable
Yeah.
based on the research. So we have still, companies that are also working on reusable, but they are social enterprises. It means they sell it for a reasonable amount. This
Amount.
is what we,
Mm.
yeah, working on. At one point, we had a contract with a local manufacturer for reusable parts, and then we had one consignment from there where we distributed to schools. Yes, this is how we are working on. But we want to come up with a more sustainable idea where we can have our own machine, we have our own productions and then things like that. So every member of the volunteer can actually be trained on how to make these reusable parts, and then from there we can distribute it to schools, even in a long run to teach students also how to work on this, so it can be more sustainable at the school level as well. Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Mhm.
So, I would like to ask this. Your foundation addresses an issue that young girls face, right, in their adolescent slash teenage years. And I wanted to ask, do you get like do these young girls come to meet you for other with other issues in their lives, right? So they're just growing up. Some of them just began their menstrual cycle, right? And sometimes also there are overlapping issues like their old hormones are starting to get developed, right? They begin to notice the other sex, other gender, right? So do you guys infuse maybe sex education into what you're teaching these girls so that they know right from wrong, they know what to do, they know what to abstain from, how to take care of their bodies, how to do all of that stuff? Do you infuse this education in what you teach these girls?
Yes, so it is a very, very important area and which we don't neglect. And informations, communications needs to be very clear to them.
Yeah.
We grow up where your parents will tell you, don't allow a man to touch you. In what way? In what form? That you don't understand. So most of them have that notion that if a man touches you, you will become pregnant. But that is
Pregnant,
not the
yeah,
fact.
exactly.
Yeah, it is not the fact. The fact is if you have sex with a man, you will become pregnant. This is how far we go to tell them what is really happening. It's not just man touching you, but if you have sex with a man, you would possibly become pregnant. So, and this is something that we are also educating mothers to ensure they communicate very clearly to these girls to ensure they understand that this is actually what is going on. Otherwise, there are so a lot of misinterpretation of things, especially when young girls don't understand about these things. It needs to be very clear to them. And that having been said, we don't only focus on girls, we ensure adolescent boys are also part of this menstrual health and everything
Yeah,
discussions.
yeah.
So they also support these girls. The discrimination that we are want to, personally run away from can be achieved if boys are included in this discussion. And I think by far it is actually working. Boys are embracing it, and a lot more awareness are created in regards to the area with the sensitization programs, radios, TVs, and communities, schools, and yeah, I think we are achieving some of those things bit by bit. Yeah.
Yes, awesome, awesome. As in your profession as a nurse, what would you say the ratio is like in Gambia currently, for teenage pregnancies?
Yes, at first, not everybody will engage into it because of the stigma attached to it. When you're pregnant, you don't even want to come out. Everybody will be like, "Oh, she's pregnant," but that stigma is completely out of it. Everybody can do it without being feeling remorse about it. I think if I would rate it, I would rate it about 75, percent, because
Wow,
people are not feeling bad about it anymore. They just
anymore.
do it and then celebrate about it. So it is really a challenge, and I think it's something that we really need to teach girls about. But
Yeah,
it is all connected to the fact that when you are talking to girls, you don't talk to them very clearly. Some would find themselves in these issues not because they want to, but because they have less information about the activities that is going around. So
yeah,
this is why I think parents also, have a crucial role in this because most of the time we find them not, communicating very clearly to, girls, telling a girl that if a man touches you, you'll be pregnant, which is not the case. So we
that
want them to be more clear about things so and they can understand these things. Yeah.
awesome. So let's talk about the projection plan for U8 Foundation. What's the plan? Like, where do you see the U8 Foundation in the next 5 to 10 years?
Okay, so in the next 5 to 10 years, we actually see the foundation supporting a lot more girls in the Gambia, not only in Gambia, uh, even in Africa at large. Because I think we already started doing that. We successfully conducted 6 monthly webinars consecutively, inviting other young menstrual health advocates from African countries, different African countries. So every month we host this and come with a particular topic where it will be discussed about menstrual health, different topics. So we will have speakers from Nigeria, from Ghana, Sierra Leone, different countries that we had 6 consecutive months it has been going on. I think this also help in the media space where it create a lot of awareness. A lot of people actually join these webinars and things like. So this is how we want to go. Not only a national organization, but we also want to be seen as a regional organization where we, work together to solve common problems. Because the problems that we are encountering in the Gambia from the webinars, we learned that other countries are also encountering similar challenges in their own countries. Now the point is how can we come together as young African advocates, especially in this space, to basically come up with sustainable strategic plans and ideas to ensure menstrual hygiene management is well improved in Africa because it's really really important. So this is our projection for the next 5 to 10 years to ensure we go outside the Gambia to work with other African countries, especially those that are in the menstrual hygiene space. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Whew, thank you so much. This has been a really insightful conversation, right? I hope you had a good time so far.
Yeah, I did. I
And
did.
I must really commend the work that you're doing in Gambia and in neighboring places, because this is something that I'm passionate about, right? My podcast is all about helping young ladies, young women, and just women in general become better versions of themselves. And it's a beautiful thing to see that you are contributing to ensuring that these young girls grow into confident women who are confident about their body, who are self-aware about the things that, the changes that their bodies are subjected to go through as they grow up and age. So thank you so much for the good work that you are doing. And I believe that this award that you won recently from EXA would open up the UAID Foundation to more collaborations with more people in the industries that you are currently in, so that you get more sponsorship. Do you have a a bank account or something for international partners where people that are not in Gambia can put in money to support the foundation and what you guys do there?
Yeah, so we have a bank account. We are banking with Ajib Bank Limited. I think we had this since 2022. We had this bank account. Yeah, so we have that where all of the contributions are from the volunteers are actually kept in this account. If we have to do any activity, this is where the treasurers, those that are responsible for the finances, will come up with the finances, and then it has to be utilized in a strategic way because it's very difficult to come by. So I personally would not have anything to do with finances. I'm on the management and leadership side, so sometimes I don't even know where they want us to put it actually, because it is their responsibility. We solely leave it to them as they are more experienced in that area.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is how we are working on it.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Alhagie Manneh, for coming on the show and just sharing all of your experiences and the good work that you're doing. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yes, you're welcome. And before we go, I just
Yeah.
like to say this one thing. We know menstrual hygiene is celebrated every May. So last year we celebrated. We came up with an idea to bring all the actors that are in the menstrual hygiene space in the Gambia, for instance, civil society organizations that are affected with women issues, to come up together to celebrate this. And we were joined by 12 organizations to
Wow.
commemorate this. Yeah, where at the end of the day, UNICEF also came in, and they also supported the program. We had the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education. We have the UNICEF country rep. We have other relevant stakeholders, students,
Nice.
medias, and yeah, last year it was really successful. We did it at the Sarada Karaba Conference Center, which was really good. But this year we did an amazing thing because the last year it was conducted at Sarada Karaba Conference Center, and we oversighted that we did not invite any parent. I don't see parents in this, but this time U8 Foundation did it alone, inviting parents and school children in a particular local community. So what we did is we identify one low basic school that is a primary school, and we invite all the schools that we ever implemented our projects to send their representatives. All these student representatives came in. We invited parents from different local communities. We invited media to ensure we bring this celebration back to the local communities, because our mothers don't even know that there's a specific day for menstrual hygiene globally. So they need to be aware of this, and when this day comes, we need to come together with our parents to celebrate this. I think this will also send key information to ensure a lot of social support will come around this, and awareness will also be made around this area, which was quite a success. It was challenging, yes, but it was successful, and we're looking forward to do a more bigger one next year, inshallah. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Those were beautiful final words. All right, guys, there you have it, folks. We've been talking to Alhagie Manneh from Gambia, who is the founder of the U8 Foundation in Gambia, and also the one of the winners of the EXA Awards. Yes, the change maker of the year, and also he's also a nurse, and he has been talking to us about the beautiful and amazing work that they are doing at the U8 Foundation in Gambia. Thank you so much, Alhaji, for being a part of this. I'm grateful.
Thank you very much for having me, Tijan. I'm really grateful. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. All right, there you have it, folks. Amazing work that Alhagie Manneh is doing um, um, in Gambia with the U8 Foundation, and he's doing so well. He's doing so well. This is something that I'm really passionate about, and he's also, solving some of the SDGs, right? Which is amazing. Good work, Alhaji. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I really hope that you enjoyed this episode and you've been spurred to do something, right? If it's one sanitary towel you can provide to one child, to one girl, please go ahead and do that. These things that we take for granted, there are some children out there who do not know, who do not have the resources to go to get these hygienic ways of living, right? So please, if it's one child per month that you can provide sanitary towels for, please do that. And of course, do not hesitate to correct wrong impressions about what a menstrual cycle is, or how children should go about it. We are in the digital age, yes, but even this internet that we take for granted, some people do not have access to it, right? And without that access, information is a lot limited, right? So let's be the change that we want to see. This change will continue to happen as we take on the challenges and responsibilities to make that happen. Okay. All right, folks, that's it on today's episode of the podcast. Thank you so much for listening or watching. I had an amazing time, and I hope that you had to. It's always a beautiful time to have these conversations with you, and to just enlighten ourselves and help each other become better versions of ourselves. Okay. It's that time already. You know what to do. If you're not following us already, why are you not following us? Please follow us on all our social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Ladies Hive. And of course, if you want to know what I get to do in my personal time and space, please do follow me on Instagram and Twitter at TWE_twirl. YouTube channel is Tian TV on YouTube. You can go watch the episodes of the podcast there if that is if you prefer to see me on your screens. Okay. Thank you so much for listening in. I would see you in the next episode. Adios. Mwah.